I don't think you can do it.
Ha! Just watch me, bub.
Mutant detected.
Son of a bitch. Okay, people, today let's take a quick look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends Nimrod. I swear, I wasn't going to do a dedicated video for this figure. I was going to throw it in a play day or a ketchup and mustard type situation, but I got it in from Big Bad Toy Store, and I looked at it through the window and thought, well, dang. I love some classic X-Men. And I know they changed the paint scheme and one of the heads, and that's pretty much it. But those simple changes made me like this so much better than that. I haven't even opened it yet. But if you have the 3-pack Nimrod, you know what's going on here. Hell, I'm pointing at it. I might as well grab it. Yes, if you have the 3-pack Nimrod, which I do have. I got that set for Phantom X more than anything. And I thought, well, this is more modern skewing. I'll put it on the display and maybe one day I'll customize it to make it a bit more classic. No, I don't have to. It works out. And now I can do something else with this. I have no clue what. It's very specific Nimrod. But we can do more comparisons once we take a look at the package, which is your standard Marvel Legends fare. Window showing you the figure, Marvel Legends logo. Warning, choking hazard, small parts. Don't put that big, smooth, white piece of plastic down your throat. The artwork on the side, there we go. I mean, that's 80s Nimrod, along with an X. On the back, another classic rendition of Nimrod, and then a little backstory if you're unfamiliar. On the other side, a little more artwork, a lot more window, Marvel Legends logo on top, X on bottom, legalese, barcode. Let's get this open and see what's going on here. Even though, like I said, we pretty much know what's going on here. But it's got some extra stripes on it. No. It's not just the paint. Like I said, it also has some new sculpt. This face. So at the end of the day, totally worth the retail price. As much as I'm making fun of the, oh, look at the extra paint apps, it's got some stripes on it, it does make it feel a bit more old school. Besides the face sculpt, I'm talking about just these new stripes running up and down the leg, the pink here on the underwear, inside the elbows, running up the arm, coming down the side of the torso, and then off the sides of the head on the back. There's actually paint on the back. Oh, don't forget about the soles of the feet and the fingers. Comparing to the original, this is the original. Looking at it through the viewfinder, I kind of got lost. Wait, which one? Oh, definitely, yeah, this one. The original just has some, not hot pink, it's more of a reddish pink, just stripes in places running along the panels, and then down on the front of the feet, and a little extra on the front of the arm, and then definitely red for the faceplate. And then this big dragonfly energy effect on the back, which is unmistakably modern. And now that I flip that over, there's quite a bit of paint on the back of it too, so you shouldn't be surprised to see a little back here, but I always am anyway, because we've endured some figures that didn't get a lot of love on the backside. The bodies are exactly the same. There's nothing new from the neck down, or well, the lack of neck down. And that completely works for the modern version, and I feel like it does work for the classic, but in my mind's eye, the pictures in my brain, I feel like it should be a bit more sleek, or tapered down, not so thick down here at the feet, maybe, or maybe thick feet, just more slender in places. But the head is dead on. I was afraid it was going to be the same shape as this one, where it just kind of humps off the shoulders, not very far, but the new head is more elongated, as it should be, especially in the face. So it comes up and over, not a whole hell of a lot more, but just, well, actually, does it? Maybe not. If I line up this, it's just the faceplate. It makes it look like it goes taller because it stretches out further up and over the headpiece there. Okay, it is the same. They just retooled it to have this other face sticking out, which I absolutely love. I know I keep coming back to this, but it's the newest part, so I'm going to dwell on it in all of its classicness. It could have more pink, and it could be more reflection-wise. These have some hard lines to it. It's just applied on, which I get. It's a mass market toy, but I would have liked to seen some fade or some pink pearliness in the swirly twirly plastic. Or maybe not inside the marbleization, which you can, well, maybe you can see. The light hits the bright white really, really hard. Maybe an overspray of a color changing pink. I'm getting way too technical, way too complicated for a Hasbro Marvel Legends figure, I think. Because this does do the job way better than I thought. When I first saw the promotional pictures, I thought, well, it doesn't follow any lines or nothing, but it does go down the seams for the muscles and the plates, and it goes up under this. Well, okay, the legs are just running down, but that does kind of work as a reflection. I get what they were going for, and it works. Good job. Congratulations. I do like it better than the first one, even though it's 93.27% the same figure. Oh, I just noticed the shade work to the cheekbones, or the trenches here. The black fades into the crevice, and then inside the mouth has a hotter pink application to make it stand out against the darker pink of the face. And I know in the grand scheme it doesn't matter much, but I love it when they put some extra detail down on the bottom of the feet. They don't look like thrusters or anything, but maybe some futuristic anti-gravity discs that helps propel in the air and flying around or floating. The white also makes it hard to see some of the sculpt work that's not accentuated by the pinks. This line coming down and some of the extra detail here on the front of the forearm, and a couple of extra panel lines here. But for the most part, it's fairly smooth. There's some extra work here on the back, running down the spine, and then some hip covers that barely jut out. Would have liked to see more pink here. Take some more of this line work and throw it down into some of this. Would have been interesting. Maybe too pink? I don't know. There's a fine line, I feel, between not enough pink and too much pink. That's not going to stop me from attempting to put more pink in places. Or maybe it'll end up like this. I don't know. Going over articulation, it may look like there's a neck, but there is no neck. That's just for swapping pieces out. The shoulder pads are the rubbery ring around the shoulder pin type that'll travel with the arm all the way around, but also flexes up out of the way for the hinge to go up this high. Swivel at the bicep. There is a pinned elbow. Actually, now that I pointed out, there's a pinned elbow, but pinless knees. That's interesting. I don't remember when the original version of this came out, but not quite 90. Swivel at the wrist with a hinge in and out. Dumbbell joint mid-torso gets some crunch, some arc back, tilt. Okay, I say tilt. It's just barely moving side to side. Then there's rotation. Pin coming out to the hip, swings that far before the leg armor hits the hip armor, but you can turn it a bit, get it a little out of the way for that much forward. Not a lot back. Hinges. Is it a hinge? It is. Let's see. Oh, okay. There is some flexiness to the thigh guard. Doesn't go inside. So about that far. Double knee. Oh, surprisingly, the most amount of movement on the figure. He can almost kick his futuristic robot ass. If you push it, look at all that plastic around the foot. The hinge at the ankle goes back this far and forward this far. And then a front-facing pin gives it more rock than anything. For accessories out of the package, there is 2 splayed-out hands with its 2 fingers and a thumb. Then there's 2 hard-hitting pink and white fists. But I'm not going to swap these out because... oh, I didn't realize those were yellow on the palm of the hand. That's an extra color thrown in there. Those ports are for the blast effects. There is a red candy center with some pink energy swirling out and around it. You can't really get fist. Well, okay, you can push it some and get to like this, but he's probably towering over people, shooting down on mutants. And there are 2 of those for dual wielding repulsor blasts. Oh, the MCU has ruined me. Something I discovered for wrist movement, if you take the hand out and crank the peg all the way back and plug in the effect piece and then plug the hand in as far as it'll go. It won't go all the way in because there's a lot of plastic in the way. You can get more of a straight out shot. And it is pretty solid, pretty stable. It'll hold up for pictures or poses on the shelf or whatever. But if you get rowdy with it, If you get rowdier with it, it will come out. Then there's an alternate head, which I think is the alternate head for the first version, but there it was silver on the faceplate. I'm gonna do this one time and then never do it again, but you just gotta pry back and forth until it pops off. Just a pin, no ball, no nothing. It just seats down into the groove. I think this face moves it into this century, but I'm more of a last century kind of guy when it comes to my comic books. Here's the forever head for this figure. Nimrod stands at 8 1/16 inches tall, which puts it nicely above some of the X-Men that were active in that era. Well, Rachel wasn't quite in her Hound costume yet, and this is a custom head. And then one day I'm gonna get around to painting the Secret Wars Wolverine into a darker brown, and Nightcrawler has a custom head too. Here's Nimrod with some larger X-Men villain types, the Blob, who was in Freedom Force at that time, I think, and then the Gamerverse Juggernaut. Finally, alongside some other big-ass robots, there's the HasLab Sentinel, along with Bastion, and then the Hasbro Pulse exclusive X-Men 97 Sentinel, which works perfectly fine as a classic X-Men comic Sentinel. So, yeah. There's a hell of a display. So at the end of the day, it's not the most agile Marvel Legends figure Hasbro's ever put out, but man, does it look good just standing there. Okay, I say just standing there. It can do some action, but it's not going to do as much action as, say, Nightcrawler or Wolverine or Spider-Man, Deadpool. But it's Nimrod, and it does Nimrod things. I guess that's the best way to put it. It's Nimrod, it does Nimrod things. There's white, there's pink, there's some energy blasts. Yeah, you can get some crunch, you can get some arms raised. It's a shame that the knees go that damn far, but then the feet hardly move. But that's the design. That's what they were going for. There can't be any neck when there's no neck. There can't be any ankle when there's no ankles.
No killing what can't be killed.
I am much happier with this. Now, okay, I say that. The modern Nimrod wasn't bad. It did its thing. It does what it's supposed to do. But I'm classic through and through. And that face sculpt nails it. The rest of the body may be a little chunky for my taste, but that face is damn good. And from here, it's your responsibility. You need to decide what you want to do. If you miss that one, hey, this is great. You can get a Nimrod on the shelf. If you have that one and happy with it, you don't need this. You really, really don't need this. Or you can be a sucker, a fool with his action figure budget, and be like me and have two. I have another big robot for the display. Not as big as some of the robots I have, but it's a big robot for the display. So I'm pretty happy. Bye!